A Crofton man who threatened to go on a shooting spree at his workplace is facing charges tonight. Good evening. This is CTV News. I'm Patricia Villone.
And I'm Sonia Srivastava. Thank you for joining us tonight. The 28-year-old Crofton man who threatened to kill his boss and co-workers is formally charged today. Neil Prescott had been undergoing a mental evaluation since being arrested on Friday at his apartment. Denise Douglas has the details on the charges.
I'm here at the Prince George's County Courthouse where 28-year-old Neil Prescott has been charged with telephone misuse for allegedly threatening to kill his boss and co-workers at Pitney Bowes. This comes as a surprise to many. He's said to have made the threats last week on several phone conversations. So when police received a call about it, they began investigating. At his apartment in Crofton, they found over 24 firearms and thousands of rounds of ammunition. He was taken into custody and sent to a hospital for a mental evaluation, where he still is at this point. There have been many questions about the light charge against him, the telephone threats one that came down today. Now, the state's attorney says that's the most she could have brought. That's the most she could have filed against him, period.
I believe that when people like Mr. Prescott threaten violence, especially in this day and age with all that we have going on right now, he ought to be facing felony charges, not just misdemeanor charges. But the state of the law in Maryland at this time does not make it a felony and does not make it an express crime to communicate a threat.
Police Chief Mark McGaugh says the charges may seem light, but he is satisfied that they were able to prevent what could have been a mass shooting.
We looked at the evidence and we took action, and we have no other choice. There's not much difference between this and other tragic accidents or incidents that have occurred across the country. The key piece here, it didn't happen. And that's the key piece. But we're not waiting to find out, and we're moving on the evidence that we have.
If convicted of the charges, Prescott faces up to 3 years in prison and a $500 fine. And because he is under psychiatric care, he will not be able to own a gun again. I'm Denise Douglas, CTV News.
Alsobrooks says that they plan to lobby in Annapolis for a law that would make it illegal to communicate threats to others. Officials would not say when Prescott would be released from the hospital and formally charged.
Prince George's police have released a new surveillance video of a recent robbery at a local store in Seat Pleasant. We warn you that the video is violent, and that's what's putting a community on alert. CTV's Alena Neves has the story.
Police are looking for a male suspect that robbed this gas station on Sunday evening in Seat Pleasant on Central Avenue.
We did release the YouTube video, and we're hoping that if someone sees anything to provide that information to the police department. Apparently he had brought an item that he wanted returned. At that point, the cashier said he couldn't make a return on the item. And that's when the individual or the suspect became irate, got upset, went over to the cashier's room, kicked down the door, and began to assault the cashier.
Witnesses say when the cashier could not make the exchange for the suspect, that is when he became very upset. He came around here to this steel door and he knocked it down. Once inside, he demanded an item. He took the item, he beat the cashier very severely, and he fled the scene.
We started beating him up over here. And then my employee was over here. He was laying on the floor, and then my employee ran away, stand over there. He got one cigarette, and then he went away too.
In that camera right there, he was kicking the door, and in this camera, when he was fighting with the employer and hit him on the ground. That's it.
Okay, and you have a third one?
Yeah, we have a third camera right there, and one is outside, but I don't think he's really in there.
Okay, but you got him on all three cameras?
Yeah, all three.
Police are asking anyone with information to call the Prince George's County Police or Crime Solvers at 1-877-411-TIPS. That's 8477. I'm Alena Neves reporting live from Seat Pleasant on Central Avenue for CTV News.
Thank you. And once again, anyone with information is asked to contact County Police.
A Prince George's school official who faces a pending criminal trial has just announced her resignation. Cynthia Skilling is the Chief Human Resources Officer with the school system. The resignation comes on the heels of her upcoming trial later this month for leaving the scene of a car accident in May. She did not give officials a date for her departure. Skilling has had prior run-ins with the law. In 2004, she was charged with kicking an officer after she was pulled over for drinking and driving, and according to police documents, her blood alcohol level was twice the legal limit. She received probation and was fined $400 for second-degree assault. Skilling was promoted to her current position in 2008.